Yo, how many books is this? Like almost 30? I think I spent too much money again. Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. Today is going to be a great day because we're filming a book haul, and I haven't filmed a book haul and I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been too long because I haven't been buying books, and I like to physically go out and buy the books from Barnes & Noble or wherever, but you know, quarantine, coronavirus has messed everything up. So I have literally ordered all of these off of Amazon, Book Depository, and I went to Target actually and got a few of these. So we're gonna go through all of these books and hopefully you find something you want to read. I mean, we're not on lock. Serious? Oh my gosh, we're not on lockdown, but you might find something you want to read anyway, so let's get started. The first book, well actually it's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 5 books is a part of a series that I used to have when I was like 14, and then I gave it away to Goodwill, which I regret immensely, so I bought them again like any sane person would do. And it is the Strange Angel series by Lily St. Croix. So it's 5 books in the series. And this was probably like the first official, well not first official, I swear I say that all the time. This was the first official books that I read ever. No, it's one of them. It's one of the first series that I really started, and I was very much obsessed with them. The series really just, it follows a girl who is a hunter, and she hunts, well at least she did werewolves and vampires and zombies. It has pretty much every supernatural creature that you could possibly think of, and she eventually goes to this school of boys where they do pretty much the same thing, but they're werewolves and they're vampires, so they kind of learn how to come into their own as their own creature. And then she ends up finding out that she is being hunted by this big evil that wants her dead, and that's pretty much how it goes throughout the series. I really want to reread this. I started reading Strange Angels again, but then I stopped and I was like, not yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put this one to the side. So hopefully I can get to this again. I think I would zoom through these again because I ate them up when I was younger. So hopefully I can start reading these again. All right, so the next book. It's a funny story, I already have this book. I just have a different cover and it's sitting right over there. And it is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I always feel like I say I always feel like I say the name wrong. Hanya Yanagihara. This book is apparently, allegedly, I don't know, I haven't read it, is an emotional roller coaster. People literally cried reading this book. Of course it's appealing, I want to feel some emotion. So A Little Life follows these 4 college friends who move to New York and pretty much just start their lives as every young person wants to do. And one character's name is Jude. I started reading this a few months back before quarantine and stuff started happening, and then I stopped. I don't know why, but Jude is pretty much the character that holds the whole friendship together, and I can't really say much about it. This is a big, thick book. I think it's over 700 pages. It's about 700 pages. It's a lot. Let me make a point. So yeah, I already had this book in this edition, or well, I don't think they're 2 different editions necessarily. This is a different cover, and I wanted this cover, so I ordered this from Book Depository. I do that a lot. Don't judge me. It's fine. I don't care what you think. So I'm really hoping to get to this. I don't know when I'm gonna get to any of these because I don't have a specific order of reading these books. So, but I am excited to read it. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what half of these books are. I don't know what any of these books are really about. I saw the cover I read a tiny little bit of the synopsis and I was like, put it in my cart. And it is what it is. Whatever. So the next book is called The Wives by Taryn Fisher. I saw this chilling at Target and it says, imagine that your husband has 2 other wives. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's about a woman who is pretty much sharing her husband with another woman in a polygamy type deal. Hannah is the character, one of the wives, and she doesn't know anything about her husband's other wife. So then secrets are coming out and she starts trying to track her down, get to know her, figure something out. What? Come on. 2 wives? I mean, I know that's a thing in other cultures, but no, not for me. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it falls kind of under a thriller type story, which I love. I love thrillers. So I'm really excited to get to this one. So the next book, I think it came out the beginning of the year or towards the end of last year, and it is A Long Petal of the Sea by Isabel, I don't want to butcher your name, Isabel Allende. I probably said it wrong. Look how beautiful this cover is. It's so pretty. This story is set in the late 1930s during the Civil War in Spain. So it's more of a historical fiction, which I don't tend to read. I think I said that in one of my other bookish videos. I'm not really a historical fiction type of chick, but hey, I'll try everything once. Book-wise, So there's thousands of people forced to flee where they live and where they settle their lives. And among them is a pregnant woman who has become a widow. So her husband, I think, was killed in the Civil War. And a doctor. And they join together and they decide to fight the forces of evil. No. They run off and try and survive like everyone tries to do when they're being forced out of their country. So this might be a tearjerker. I don't know. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful cover, so I can't wait to read this one. So, our next book is Whisper Network by Chandler Baker. I saw this first on Urban Outfitters. I don't know. I wasn't looking for books on Urban Outfitters, but they have a book section. And I saw this and I was like, maybe I can get it cheaper on Amazon. And so I did. Gotta read this one. This cover reminds me of a book that I already have. It's called Poison by Galt something. I don't know the last name. And I can't see it from here. And it's hard to pronounce anyway. So, Whisper Network follows Sloan, Artie, and Grace. And they work together at this corporate job. And they've been working together for years. So they apparently all have these secrets. They all have these things that they've done that they only keep within among the group. And so when the CEO dies, their boss will take over the company. And apparently that's a bad thing. So I think that this boss who's potentially going to be the CEO, he has a history of being inappropriate with his female employees. So I think this story kind of really follows the whole Me Too movement. So it's going to be interesting to read this one. And it's a part of Reese Witherspoon's book club. So hey, it might be a banger. So the next book was actually, it came out as a movie this year, but it is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. They had a bunch of covers for this. This was the coolest one, and you can see it's pretty darn thick. So I think this one's longer than A Little Life. Nope, it's about the same. Just kidding. Y'all, I don't really know what this book is about. But I heard from my book friends it's really good. Wow. I should probably look it up. Because I suck at this. Because I haven't done a book haul in 20,000 years. Can I spell? Why isn't anything popping up? Yo, my internet has been trash lately. It's not even loading. So I guess we'll never know what this is about. Because my internet is not cooperating in the slightest. We're moving on. But this is a really cute cover. So, next book, this tiny cute little book This was like the talk of the town maybe a year or two ago, and it is The Alchemist by Paul. The last name. A picture will be somewhere. Over somewhere. I don't know. But this is definitely a different type of book for me. Apparently there's magic, mysticism, and wisdom and wonder. Let's go. So it's about this this man named Santiago, the shepherd boy who pretty much wants to see the world in all of its glory. So it's really a story just taking us on a man's journey, and he's gonna face some issues. He's going to meet new people, and it's really short. You could probably read this in a couple hours tops. It's not even 200 pages, but I considered getting this a while ago and I never did. So alright, so the next book caught my eye because of the cover. It was probably the prettiest and most different cover, but it is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It's more of a biography type, autobiography type / fiction type book. I'm not really sure. This is about a woman who comes to terms and comes to reality about her sexuality and how she feels about it, and pretty much living her truth, which everyone should live their truth. She was really discovering or trying to discover her voice within a world that doesn't want you to have a voice. The character Glennon, she decides to quit abandoning herself and denying who she is as a person. So that already sounds extremely inspiring. So I'm excited for this one. Whoa! I almost dropped it. So the next book, I can tell you that this is pretty much a modern day retelling of Twilight. I will show you the cover because it looks just like it. Boom! And it's called CRAVE by Tracy Wolff. I saw this on something. I don't know where, but the cover caught my attention, so I looked it up. And I felt like I was reading a synopsis of Twilight. And then everyone said, oh, it's kind of like Twilight. So I don't want to read it. No, not for me. I'm going to read it. I want to see is it better than Twilight? Because Twilight was the epitome of the best book on the entire planet when I first read it. It was magical. Everybody was talking about Twilight. So CRAVE is about a girl who goes to this elite academy, and she ends up meeting this guy named Jackson, and he's a vampire with secrets. Is that not Twilight? Of course it is. So I'm excited for this. I started reading it. I think I got maybe like a chapter, and then I stopped. Don't ask me why. I always stop when I start. That was a little excessive. Okay, so the next book I saw on Amazon, because I was, you know how you pick a book and then they give you, oh, you may like this, and they show you a bunch. So this is where I found this one, and it's called The V Girl by Maya Roberts. It's a coming of age story, and it's about it's set in post-apocalyptic North America where sexual slavery is legal. Whoa! And this girl named Lila, she wants to lose her virginity before the troops visit her and take her away, and then it will be forced to be taken from her. So she plans to do that with a long-time friend that she grew up with. And in the midst of all this, she loses her mother, and there's a bunch of secrets surrounding that, and it brings her to this other boy who she starts to form a connection with. So this sounds so familiar. Is this a movie? I doubt it, but it sounds familiar. I'm excited for all these books. I'm gonna say it after every book that I show you. I'm excited to read this. Next book I've seen floating around Bookstagram. It is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Now, I don't know what this really is about. So let's find out what it is together. What happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason? We've all been there? No? That's fine. So it follows this woman named Alex, and she's a woman who gets what she wants, and she's made a living based off of all the confidence she has, and she's created a brand. So she's shocked when her babysitter is confronted after... Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, okay. I get it. So the babysitter is confronted because she's a black woman and she's accused of kidnapping the 2-year-old who was a white child. Oh man, I can already tell what this is gonna be. Whoa. So this woman who is the babysitter for Alex she's pretty much down on her luck and she's about to lose everything that she has and everything that she knows. And when she was confronted, there's a video that gets posted and it goes viral. Oof, of course. When that video goes viral, it exposes Alex's path. And so both the women pretty much team up and start supporting each other. This sounds pretty good. Did I not read the synopsis when I bought this stuff? No, I didn't. Because I suck at this now. Alright, next book I considered buying before quarantine started, but I never picked it up. I don't know why, but I got it now. And it's called More Than Enough by Elaine, what's her name? Elaine Welteroth. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this book is about this person. This isn't really a fiction. It's just a telling of her life, which I don't read, but that's okay, we're gonna read it now. So this woman, Elaine, she has climbed the ranks of media and fashion, and now she's the first black editor-in-chief at this corporation. So I don't even need to read the synopsis. So this is pretty much, this woman is rising to the top as a black woman, and it's not seen as, oh great, by lots of her co-workers and bosses and things like that. So I think she's going through what women of color today go through, and I think she's really battling the ideals of racism and identity and power and just being ambitious enough to go through this to achieve what she wants. This, yeah. I'm reading that. So, our next book is called Commonwealth by Ann Patchett. It's such a cute cover. I think it matches me today. Thumbnail. Okay, let me stop. So this book spans 5 decades. So I think it's told from different perspectives. I can't really tell, but it's spanning over 5 decades, and it explores an encounter through the lives of 4 parents and 6 children. So yeah, definitely different perspective. I used to be completely turned off by the fact if a book was told in more than one perspective, I was not gonna read it. Granted, I know that's stupid. I know, I don't do it anymore, I'm just saying. So this is such a cute cover. I can't wait to read this. These next few, I have no clue what they're about. Like this one, Artful by Ali Smith. No clue what it's about. I'm assuming it's about this person on the cover. I have no, and I don't think there's a synopsis in here. Yo, did I just say that I didn't think that there was a synopsis and it's right here on the back? There's something wrong with me, clearly. So this book talks about the things that art can do and what art is made of and the silver nature of all artness. So it's narrated by a character who is haunted literally by a former lover, the writer of a series and lectures about art and literature. Yo, so we got some paranormal aspects to this one. Oh, I'm excited for this. Now I know what it's about. Next book, saw it floating around on Bookstagram, and it's called What Is Missing by Michael Frank. This, I do know what it's about, but we're not gonna go based off my memory. So this talks about a woman who is not able to conceive a child. She's a half Italian, half American translator, and she's traveled to Italy for one summer to pretty much restart her life and find something to live for after the death of her husband. So there she meets this man named Andrew. Well, not man-ish. This kid named Andrew, he's 17-year-old. He's a 17-year-old, and his dad, a physician. And so the three, they develop a relationship and they end up going to New York. Whoa. The three come together again that fall in New York. Oh, okay, that's wrong. So they go their separate ways and then they see each other. They meet each other again in New York, where the love triangle develops. Okay. Yeah, that's what that is. I'm excited. That should be interesting. Okay, next book is a nice, fun summer read, and you can pretty much tell that by the cover. And it is Island Affair by Priscilla Olivares. It's so cute. It reminds me of another book that I have. It's called The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, The Unhoneymooners. Go check that one out. That's a really good book. So this one is about a social media influencer, and she is in recovery from an eating disorder. And she's coming into her own. She has this great career. And despite all of that good stuff that's happening, she has these siblings who have their own success, and apparently it's way above where she is. And they make her feel like she's the black sheep of the family, pretty much. So when her boyfriend is a no-show for this family function, she decides to have a fake relationship with this guy named Luis on an island, I think. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this. This is gonna be a really good summer read. So I probably should read this like first. We'll see, I don't know yet. Okay, so the next book is actually a poetry book, and I'm sure everyone's heard of it. It's not new. Maybe everybody has it. It is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur, and I have the first one, which is Milk and Honey, I think. Yeah. Amazing. So I got this one because I'm not a big poetry reader. I do love poetry. I just don't read it that often. But her work is outstanding. So I wanted to check this one out. You guys want me to read one? I can read one for you. It'll be short. I'm back. Sorry, y'all. It stopped recording at like 30 minutes. As I was saying, I was reading y'all a poem, and it wasn't one that I wanted. Okay, here we go. The hummingbirds tell me you've changed your hair. I tell them I don't care, while listening to them describe every detail. Hunger. Y'all heard the accent? I read an accent to make it jejune. Okay, anyway, I'm excited to read this. Our next book is a fantasy. I love me some fantasy. Thank you, Bookstagram, for doing that. We have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Never heard of this book until I saw it and bought it. It's about a maiden and her duty to a kingdom. So this woman named Poppy, she was chosen from birth to usher in the new era in her kingdom, and she lives her life in solitary. So she's never been touched, she's never been looked at or spoken to. She's lived the life of a person in solitary confinement, which sucks. So she's awaiting the day of her ascension, but she would rather be a guard, fighting the evil that took her family. So the entire kingdom rests on this woman's hands. Hands? Not hands. Rests on this woman's shoulders. And she doesn't want that for herself. She wants to fight instead of just sit around and tell people this, that, and the other. So when Hawk, a golden-eyed guard bound to ensure her ascension, enters her life, and they start a wonderful relationship with daisies, daffodils, and flowers. Daisies and daffodils are flowers. I meant rainbows. Oh, so forsaken by the gods and feared by mortals, a fallen kingdom is rising once more, determined to take back what they believe is theirs through violence and vengeance. So Poppy and Hawk, they're gonna fight for their kingdom. From Blood and Ash. See what I did there? Yeah, I'm excited for this. Next book is another book I know nothing about. I just bought it based on the cover, and it is What I Loved by Siri, whoa, that last name, I don't know, I might butcher it, Husvet. I was probably wrong. So this story takes place in New York in 1975, and it's about an art historian named Leo, and he discovers a painting by an unknown artist in this Soho gallery. So he buys the work, tracks down the artist, and his name is Bill, and so those two men, they embark on this lifelong friendship. Leo's story spans 25 years, and it follows the involvement between his family and Bill. But their bond starts to be tested when they are overcome with this tragedy that ends up happening. So this is pretty much probably a really moving story about art, love and passion and betrayal and heartache and tragedy and all the things that encompass a good book. So I'm hoping that it will be amazing when I read it. We're almost done, guys, I promise. There's seven more. I'll be quick, I promise. Just like the one before, I don't really know anything about it, but it's called The Best Kind of People by Zoe Whittle. Ooh, it was a finalist for the Giller Prize. So we have George, who is a science teacher, and his wife Joan, who is a hardworking ER nurse. They have children, and they have the American dream. White picket fence, house, kids galore, great careers, and all that. So one night there's a police car that turns up at their home accusing George of sexual misconduct with one of his students. So while he awaits trial and he claims his innocence, Joan, his wife, she vaults between denial and rage. While their daughter, who is 17, she becomes a social outcast. This book should be really interesting. All right, next book is another fantasy. This book, I think everyone read maybe a couple years ago. I wasn't into fantasy when this book came out, but I am now. And it is called Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff. So it's by two authors who are amazing. And I know they are. So the year is 2380. And they have a graduating class of cadets at Aurora Academy, and they're being assigned their first missions. The star pupil's name is Tyler, and he is ready to recruit the squad of his dreams. But then he ends up being stuck with people that nobody wants. So the bottom of the barrel, the low tier people, it kind of reminds me of the 100. A bunch of delinquents get sent to Earth to test it out. That's pretty much what this reminds me of. It may not be exactly, but reminder. So his squad isn't the issue. Apparently the issue is the character. Whoa. The character Aurora. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I need to take a nap or something. So this girl was just wrecked. I quit, bro. So this girl, Aurora, is rescued from interdimensional space. And she's been trapped in cryo sleep. Cryo sleep for 2 centuries. That's a long time. And so she's out of time and she's way out of her depth. And now Tyler's squad of misfits might just be the last hope for the entire galaxy. I'm really excited for this. Surprisingly, it's more science fiction than fantasy. There's a difference, I promise. Okay, so the next song. The next book is Praise Song for the Butterflies by Bernice L. McFadden. So this follows the story of a West African girl named Abeyo Kata. She's 9 years old, and she's the daughter of a government employee. So her life takes pretty much a turn for the worst, and her father places Abeyo in a religious shrine, hoping that the sacrifice will serve as atonement for every crime that he's done. So apparently he's, corrupt government worker. So she ends up being rescued, and then she comes out of there broken and battered, and she's struggling to overcome everything that's happened to her, everything that's happened in the past. So this is more of a contemporary fiction story. I usually wouldn't pick it up, I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm having this thing of stepping out of my comfort zone. We should try it. Okay, next book is, I think it's so cute. It sounds cute, it looks cute. It's a contemporary romance type of book, and it is called Honeymoon Alone by Nicole Macaulay. I hope I said her name right. So this follows the story of Lucy Gray. Lucy is ditched at a wedding, not her wedding. Her date ditches her, and she ends up visiting a psychic to gain some insight and some advice on what to do with her life after this happens. So the psychic says, stop ignoring your fate. It'll lead you to love. But it ends up leading her to London. I know that's right. She finds herself tangled up in a web of lies. So she goes to this different country and she pretty much says, yeah, I don't want to be Lucy today. No, I'm good. I'm gonna be somebody else. So it's pretty much a woman finding her way through woman finding her way through life. Aren't we all? Okay, next book. I almost picked this up at Barnes & Noble the beginning of the year, but I didn't. But I do have it now. And it's called You Were There Too by Colleen Oakley. So this follows the story of Mia, who has the picture perfect life, quote unquote. She's got the house, she's got the husband, she's got dreams of starting a family. But she has other dreams too. These dreams are recurring. They're constant and they are always the same. So she doesn't think much of them until she relocates to a small town in Pennsylvania. And she literally comes face to face with the man that's been in her dreams. Who has a husband, by the way. She has a husband. She's dreaming of another man. If you didn't catch it. And this dude, he has a secret of his own. And apparently it's this jaw-dropping secret. So because I want to know what the secret is, I'm excited to read this. Ooh. So the next book I don't know anything about again, and it's called Putney by Sofka Zin. I don't know how to say her name, but this is about a rising star in the early 1970s in London, and it's the London art scene. And it's about this gifted composer named Ralph Boyd, who is approached by a novelist named Edmund, and he wants to score a stage adaptation of his most famous work. That's pretty cool. So welcomed into Greenslay's sprawling bohemian house in Putney, an artistic and prosperous district in southwest London, the musical wonderkin is introduced to Greenslay's beautiful activist wife Ellie, his aloof son Theo, and his young daughter Daphne, who quickly become Ralph's muse. But I'm excited to read this one too. Our last and final book. Freaking finally, dude. This took long. This is why I don't do book hauls anymore. So this next book was on my Goodreads list for years. It's called Stolen by Lucy Christopher. This is gonna be interesting. So this is about a girl, and her name's Gemma, and she gets kidnapped from an airport by this good-looking guy, and I think she suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. If you don't know what Stockholm Syndrome is, I'll drop a definition right now. There you go. So this book is written as a letter from Ty, the guy who kidnaps Gemma. So that was interesting in and of itself. So the whole book is basically a letter. So if you've heard of the book You in the show, the book is told like this. Example. You were in the kitchen, your head was low to the table, looking at handwritten words on sheets of loose paper. I'm really excited for this one. I think this is going to be a different read. So, excited. So, that was all of the books that I bought during quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, my wallet kind of hurts from it. It's okay. I'm used to it. This is what I do. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. I hope you found a book that you might want to read. Let me know in the comments if you did. And if you read it. If you did read one of these before, in the past, let me know in the comments down below. Okay. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you later. You make me feel a little